I've been asked today to speak on real estate development, specifically with regard to access to capital and mortgages available. And to put this into light, I would like to share a little bit about where we stand today in the world. We know that we've gone into this pandemic with very little that we knew about it. And it is just as much as unpredictable today as it was when it started. However, what we do know is that as of today, 250 million cases have been reported with 5 million deaths. We know that in the history of such shocks, we learn two things. Firstly, even in economic downturns and recessions, some companies are able to gain advantage. In fact, the data shows that during the past four downturns, 14% of them increased both sales and EBITDA margins. And secondly, the crisis do not just form a plethora of temporary changes. They actually have very lasting changes. We know that the pandemic has disrupted global consumption, travel, forcing people to learn new habits and adopt new ways of doing what they call the new norm. In fact, a study has shown that a new habit forms over 66 days, but in fact, it really takes 21 days. And these lockdowns that have lasted long enough now in many countries have significantly changed habits of how people work, of how they look at their home ownership. And we as developers have to look at this behavioral phenotype that's happening and adjust and adopt and disrupt our business model so that we can better serve the market that we're in. In fact, whilst being here at Harvard, in the last few weeks studying, we've learned that today the biotech companies are actually developing at a faster rate than the traditional startups in technology and software development. Leadership is really important about the learning experience at HBS. When I first came here 2 years ago to start studying, bearing in mind that I hadn't finished high school, Kenyas. I'm not quite sure how I ended up in university at Harvard, but that be it may, I was invited to come and do this program, a 3-year program. And when I started learning here, I discovered quite quickly that number one, everything I thought I knew was out of date. And really, secondly, Africa is way too far behind the rest of the world. The second thing I learned is that as you learn more, you realize how much more you have to learn. The reality is that we're now in an era where the carbon fuel driven economies of the world is completely over, and the new fuel of our economy is actually data. If you look at the 3 leading tech companies today, their combined value is over 2,000 billion, which is $2 trillion and growing. Yesterday, actually, we did the case study of Moderna, the famous company that did the vaccine. And I'm not sure if all of you know, but they raised $5 billion before they even had $1 in sales. They've actually revolutionized the pharma industry by making it possible to have a digital platform with artificial intelligence and machine learning to find a cure within days. I'm sure none of you will know that the COVID discovery that they made was 2 days after the Chinese disclosed the virus genome sequencing. And it took them from that 2 days to produce an effective vaccine 42 days later with full approval. The next one they're working on is cancer. And the way they do it is an mRNA technology. It basically, as diseases come more and more known in the world, the machine and the artificial intelligence learns how to unlock the genome and develop a suitable vaccine. In the future, in the not too distant future, I can see a time when we will have a solution within seconds. They vertically integrated the production right to the lab, to the R&D lab. And it's all about the IP, the intellectual property, and the human capital, not the financial capital that we think is so important in Africa. And why I'm giving you this backdrop is we look in our own country of Zimbabwe and say, we are landlocked, we have limited resources, we have sanctions on the country, our capital systems are not well established, we have limited pools of capital available for housing, for development, for mortgages, and we're always crying about the money. But it's actually not the most important thing. We need to look at the most important thing, which is actually the capital of our people. Our greatest capital in our country of Zimbabwe is the human capital. Our greatest resource is our own people. And we need to find ways to leverage this capital in order to unlock the financial systems that have not been available to us in the past. We can work together to make this dream a reality. In fact, if we look at investment in smart cities that are powered by technology and people, this is the future. And I just wanted to share a video with you, two very short videos. I will promise you won't take much of your time. The first one is a city we're building called Millennium City.
Welcome to Millennium Heights, an exclusive upmarket lifestyle estate in Harare. Situated along Tibiato Road, Borrowdale, it's inspired by modern family living in close proximity to superb shopping centers, schools, and medical facilities. This highly secure and sought-after development offers investors and families a variety of accommodation options, ranging from studio to 3-bedroom apartments, with high-speed internet connectivity, backup power, and water, as well as a wide range of outdoor leisure and entertainment facilities. Millennium Heights is indeed modern living at its best. To be part of this esteemed development, call us now on +263 242 794 841 up to 2 and visit us on www.westproperty.co.zw to learn more.
So that is an existing development that I'll come back to in a minute. And then I wanted to show you a future development of how we see smart cities working in Zimbabwe and the kind of projection that we're making into the future.
At West Properties, we believe in improving people's lives. We believe people should live in a place with easy access to the services they need. To achieve this, we are building Smart City, a city that communicates with its citizens, a connected city that analyzes and allocates the appropriate service when and where it's needed. A city that can sense and reroute traffic, reducing congestion and risk of accidents. An efficient, environmentally friendly city optimizes energy requirements and use. Above all, a safe city that provides citizens the best possible quality of life. Welcome to the future.
Welcome to the future. I'm sure some of you are asking the question, that all looks good, but is it really going to happen? Let me show you exactly how it's going to happen. If I start with this presentation, if you can see your screen now, let me know if you can't. You should have a West Prop. I just did this talk yesterday, and this is, I'm not going to bore you with the details of our company, but we are becoming tomorrow's developer of the real estate market in Zimbabwe. And why I say tomorrow's market? Because today we stand with a company of more than 10 years experience in the retail sector. We have value of product in the pipeline, more than $500 million that we're creating of construction of projects. Our vision is to become the leading customer-centric developer of exceptional properties in Zimbabwe. And we do delight our customers with the latest sustainable innovation, incorporating our modern designs for both residential and commercial offerings. We have a very clear core value system and a purpose statement where we're not only doing these developments in a smart way, but we're also doing them in a sustainable way, where we incorporate our designs to not have any negative effects on the environment. And in fact, that smart city I showed you has a lot of environmentally friendly, what we call green initiatives. We also give 10% of our profits back as a CSR program to the less fortunate and vulnerable in Zimbabwe. These are some of the developments we've done over the years, well-known developments. Pokagara, I believe we have a client in your audience today, and we've got very satisfied people now living in these communities. This is the finished buildings. So Millennium Heights Block 1, which was the video of the apartments that I showed you, we have 1,000 units under construction in Harare and Borrowdale. We're now on Block 3. This is the entrance gate at the bottom right-hand side of Pokagara, a development area of about 50 homes and 100 townhouses. This is the design that we're now bringing to the homes, the townhouses, the future design based on our customer centricity. We did a survey and established what type of designs the customers actually wanted us to produce. We don't design something on spec. We actually design something that the customer wants. And these are the products that they came up with. that we've now designed and are launching into the market. And this is my most exciting announcement. No one has seen these photos yet. This is block 3 of Millennium Heights apartments, 100 units of flats in Harare. We sold out completely block 1 and block 2. And in fact, I even had 4 clients come in and pay us for this building that they've not yet seen. We did not even have a floor plan to show the customer, and yet they were confident in us enough to give us money for the apartment to secure it. This is our team who's talking about smart cities at the last Zimbabwe International Trade Fair in Bulawayo. And this message I wanted to give to you, which is actually in a well-known Dubai publication. What we're saying in our business and in our country is the future is in your hand. We are bringing through our imagination and exceptional execution Dubai to Harare. And there's no reason why we cannot have Dubai in Harare. The future is now. And if it is not me and us who will change our country, then who will do it? And if it is not now, then when will we do it? These are the leadership questions that I ask myself every day when I get up. It is the driving force of what keeps us going in our management team to execute our goals with excellence. Some of the ways we're disrupting the industry in Zimbabwe is through the ownership of land. Traditionally, you'll know that the method most commonly used in Zimbabwe is freehold. That is to obtain a title deed, a transfer through the deeds office when purchasing a piece of land. And then the buyer of that land would over many years develop the home, sometimes putting in the foundation and then the walls, even living in the home before it's finished. This is a common feature found in our property market. We looked at it and analyzed it very carefully. And the value of the land, although it is expensive and at times more than $100,000 to purchase the land, it is quite easy to take away this requirement and replace it with a leasehold. So we've actually established the first leasehold concept in Zimbabwe, where our land now is all owned by a leasing company. And that leasing company provides for as little as $100 a month access to the land. And the leasehold itself allows the ownership of the land to be held by the landowner, and yet the building to be held by the homeowner. And the transfer of the building, when completed, can be effected, although the transfer of the land remains in the ownership of the landholder. And these leases are 50-year renewable. It can be 100-year renewable in perpetuality. So there's no risk to the actual homeowner. The difference is that it allows the capital savings that would have been made on the outlay of the land to be used on putting up the building. And this is a game changer because we believe not only will development happen faster, but it will happen in a smarter way. We're also giving access to mortgages in phase 1A of Pomona City, which we launched this year, 142 stands. We've now sold about 65% of those stands, and all of them have been sold with 10-year mortgages. So we allow the homeowner to pay a 10% deposit and pay the remaining balance of the mortgage over 10 years, making it more affordable for the homeowner. These are some of the ways that we are disrupting the industry. But most importantly, I would like to say today that we, as developers, have a responsibility to bring into our communities new neighborhoods of futuristic living, places and homes where the mother can feel comfortable in her home, knowing that she can work from home, and the father can even be in the home, knowing that he can work from home. The disruption that's happening in the industry today is clear that working from home has become the new norm, and the requirements of homes today are very different to what they were 2 years ago. We're designing this and incorporating it into our living so that we will have these smart cities where people can work, live, play, and shop in the same city. Thank you. Thank you very much. I can close it at that and we can move on to questions and go back to the roundtable. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.